Your Gundog jumps on everyone. Guests, strangers on walks, other dog owners, and you're embarrassed. People are now backing away from your dog. The thing is, your dog's jumping up because someone is rewarding it. And until you figure out who and stop it, your dog won't stop either. I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it. To put it simply, your dog jumps up because it works. That's it. Somewhere, someone is rewarding it. Maybe it's a guest petting them when they jump. Maybe it's you giving them attention, and actually, negative attention also counts. Maybe it's another dog owner who's there saying, oh, it's okay, they're friendly, they're just excited, it's fine. And your dog isn't being naughty, although they might seem like it, they're just being logical. Jumping gets them what they want. Interaction, attention, so they're just gonna keep on doing it. And here's the thing, if your dog is jumping up, guess what? They're being rewarded for it. If there wasn't reinforcement for doing that behavior, they simply just wouldn't do it. And you might not be the one doing it, but someone definitely is. And that is why consistency matters so much. One person allows it and one person doesn't. Your dog is still getting rewarded half of the time. So they're just gonna keep on doing the behavior. So what is the solution to stopping your dog from jumping up? First, we're going to need control. And I like to use a leash for this. Not because we're going to be punishing the dog, but because we're going to be managing the situation so that jumping up cannot happen. Your dog simply can't jump up if they're on a lead because you are the one that's got control. When someone approaches, whether it's a guest or a stranger on a walk, your dog goes on the lead and you'll be preventing the behavior from happening in the first place. And then because you've got control, you're going to wait. You're going to wait for calm. Your dog needs to have all four of their paws on the ground and settled before anyone is to give them any attention. And this isn't negotiable. No interactions are going to happen until your dog is calm. And once your dog is calm and they have all four of their paws on the ground, now is your time to reinforce. That is when they get attention. That is when they get rewarded. And through this, what you are teaching them is being calm and being grounded is what gets them what they want. And this has to be consistent. Every person, every time. If one person lets them jump up, but then the other doesn't, the dog is still going to get rewarded, meaning they're going to continue to keep doing the behavior regardless of how hard you try. You have to get everyone on the same page. Same rules, same expectations. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to quickly say that if you share your life with a pet Gundog, you can download my free Pet Gundog Handbook. It'll give you a clear insight into the why behind your dog's behavior, as well as practical ways you can make meaningful progress starting from today. You can grab a copy via the link in the description. Okay, I'll let you get back to the video now. So before we jump in on how to actually rectify your dog from jumping up, I'm going to run through a couple of scenarios on what a lot of people do in order to prevent this from happening. Now, most people try their very best in regards to this behavior and preventing it from happening, but what you'll tend to find is unintentionally you will be reinforcing your dog for doing the behavior. So I'm going to give you an example here with Reggie. Now, I don't actually stop Reggie from jumping up, believe it or not, because I just see it as it's something that realistically doesn't bother me that much, but for demonstration purposes I will be running through it today on how you can go about rectifying it. So a couple of the mistakes I see a lot of people make, Reggie come, is they'll be like, you know, really excited, really like, you know, fussy with the dog, giving him lots of love, lots of attention. You see he's jumping up like that, he's jumping up at me, all that kind of crazy stuff. What you'll be doing in that moment is you'll be trying to like deflect your dog. You'll be pushing your dog off like this, trying to stop them from jumping up, when in reality, what does that do? You can see in his body language, he's trying to jump up at me and I'm pushing him away, and it's just encouraging the behavior more, simply because he finds it reinforcing. So you picture this, you know, you just come in the front door, you're there with your dog, and you're trying to tell them that this isn't a desirable behavior, this isn't what I'm looking for. So when he's jumping up at me like this and I'm going, no, get off, stop it, Reggie, no, stop, get off me, all this kind of crazy stuff, all that's giving him is feedback. It's telling him that what he's doing is absolutely fine, because by me touching him, what is touch? Touch is a form of reinforcement, meaning your dog's actually going to quite like this. So this is where the lead comes in and why this works so effectively, because it's going to give me the ability to take myself out of the equation. I'm not going to be able to provide the dog with reinforcement towards that behavior, whether it be both negative or positive. Obviously, what I mean by negative is even if I've got the dog and I'm fussing him like this, even though I'm trying to deflect him and tell him no, it's still reinforcement, it's still payment towards the behavior. Equally so, as it's also positive for him because he's getting what he wants, even though I am deeming it as punishment. So what we need to do is we get our leash, we're going to pop our dog on our lead like so. Doesn't really matter, to be honest, like what side or whatever you have your dog on for this, because all we're doing is rectifying jumping up. And simply what we're going to do is we want to communicate to this dog what the desirable behavior is. And my reinforcement for the dog doing this behavior is not, and I repeat, is not going to be food, because if we use food for this behavior, what's your dog going to expect every single time it comes to jumping up? Food. So instead, the reinforcement is simply going to be what the dog is craving, which is obviously love and affection. So what I'm looking for is when Reggie tries to do the behavior, the undesirable behavior that I want to rectify, I'm not going to push him off with my hands. I'm not going to knee him. I'm not going to turn my back to him. What I'm actually going to do is simply use my leash so that when he jumps up, I'm going to use this to direct him away. He's then going to go to all four paws on the floor, beautifully demonstrated like he is doing right here. And then, and only then, am I then going to give him some love and affection and lots of praise. I'll do the thing what I did before. I'll rev him up, get his attention. He's going to try and jump up at me. I'm just going to go like that, little tap of the lead, get him off. You can pair this with a word as well. I would use off in this instance. A lot of people are going to want to gravitate towards down. Now, the reason I don't like to use down is because your dog probably knows down as a separate command, meaning if you use it in this instance, you're not being very clear and consistent in what you're looking for because they see down as a positive. Can you see where I'm going with this one? So same again, I'm going to use off this time. So how's it going to go? Tap of the lead, off, okay? So as I'm here, giving him all that love and affection, wanting his attention, he's not doing it because he's a clever dog and he's learnt from his mistakes. He's not going to jump up at me, off, little tap, calm back down, goes back off. I can then try and rev him up. Come on, Reggie, let's go, come on in, mate, come on in, mate. Who's a pretty boy? Who's a pretty boy? None of it, right? Because he's learned that jumping up doesn't get him what he wants. Therefore, he's being a good boy. What am I going to do? I'm going to go to him and give him that little love and affection, the only thing that he wants the most, okay? Good boy, super. It is as easy as that, guys. Now, of course, I've only done this with me and him. In order for this to have the utmost desirable effect, you're going to need to do this with multiple family members, multiple situations and scenarios, and lots of means of the dog only receiving reinforcement for doing the desirable behavior. So as we've seen, the desirable behavior is the dog doing exactly this, going into a sit, holding his behavior, because that is what leads to the reinforcement. I'm going to let him off now because he's been a good lad. Break. And he can go off to be his feral spaniel once more.